watch in the next few days. I'll show you when thunder rumbles.
Now on 12 News this morning, the aftermath of Hurricane Florence. Drone video shows the flooding left behind by the storm and tragedy after floodwater swept away a 1-year-old. Plus, a lieutenant governor anthem fight, the claim that one candidate took a knee during the national anthem, and the response.
Leading the way with important local coverage. You're watching WISN 12 News this morning.
Now, first this morning, we're tracking storms locally, turning now to Weather Watch 12. Let's check in with meteorologist Sally Severson in the weather. It's good. Good morning, Sally. A little cloudy today, right?
That's right. The clouds have made a big-time comeback after 12 days of sunshine. And rain's in the forecast off and on. We'll see showers wobble around that cool front. And as it sags across the area, it will continue to be the focus for periods of rain and storms. Rain-cooled air keeps highs near 70. A brief warm-up on Thursday. And Arielle will time the chances for stronger storms later on Thursday. That'll be coming up in just a moment.
Great, thanks, Sally. Now, in the aftermath of Hurricane Florence, a North Carolina mother is heartbroken after her car got stuck in floodwaters near Charlotte. She managed to break free, but watched as rushing water ripped away her 1-year-old son right out of her hands. She is still in a state of disbelief about the last few moments that would change her life forever.
I was trying to do everything I could, and it just got worse when, water just get into your car, you start to panic.
The Union County Sheriff said the mother drove around barricades set to block the roadway. She says she remembers seeing a sign, but it was covered up, and everything happened very quickly. Florence triggered historic flash flooding, high winds, and even tornadoes. Officials now say 32 people have died in the storm. Okay, now take a look at this drone footage showing all of the flooding in Conway, South Carolina. It's one of the many communities with a long road of recovery ahead. But get this, there is a way you can help. 12 News is partnering with the Red Cross to raise money for Hurricane Florence relief. We're holding a donation helpline this morning until noon and again from 4 to 11 p.m. Pewaukee neighbors gathered to fight white power vandalism. Vandals spray painted that and other racist and sexual images Saturday night at Liberty Park. Power washed the graffiti away from the basketball and tennis courts and the playground, but not before neighbors staged their own community cleanup Sunday, even posting messages of their own.
I woke up very disappointed when I saw what had happened, and by the end of the day, I had a hard time falling asleep because it was so beautiful to see what had happened. And reminding everyone that love will always trump ugliness.
Investigators have not released the name of the man shot and killed by Manitowoc police over the weekend. Police and firefighters respond to a fire alarm at the Northwinds apartment complex early Sunday. Police say a man confronted them with some kind of blunt object and a police officer shot him. Relatives are speaking up and say the man shot was a father.
What are we supposed to tell his kids? Or what are you supposed to tell his nieces and nephews? They're going to ask. And if we don't have any justification as to what happened, how are we supposed to tell them?
The officer is on paid administrative leave during the investigation. Now, looking ahead this morning, a Glendale mother accused of attacking a school bus with a hammer is scheduled to be in court today. Police say Megan Gambus banged on the bus with a hammer in April trying to get her 14-year-old daughter. Minutes earlier, the 14-year-old got into a fight with another girl and called her mother to tell her what had happened. Gambus now faces a disorderly conduct charge. She's scheduled for sentencing at 1:30 this afternoon. Also looking ahead this morning, the man accused of killing a woman during sex, then hiding her body, is expected in court. This is likely the final hearing to iron out any issues and motions before the trial on the 24th. In 2017, Chris Zacco was charged with first-degree reckless homicide for the death of Kelly Dwyer, whose body was found in 2015. Earlier this month, Zacco was charged with solicitation for witness intimidation after prosecutors say he tried ordering a hit against his ex-girlfriend, one of their witnesses. In this morning's Commitment 2018 coverage, an anthem fight between two candidates for lieutenant governor. Republican Rebecca Clayfish said Democrat Mandela Barnes knelt during the national anthem at the state fair, but Barnes tells 12 News' Ben Wagner that accusation is crazy.
Clayfish's claim first surfaced on Twitter earlier this month, writing, quote, "My opponent has made it clear that he believes in kneeling for the national anthem. In fact, Wisconsin neighbors have told me that they have seen him do exactly that." Today, Clayfish said she herself didn't see Barnes kneeling.
What I mentioned was that people had told me this. It was at an event that we both attended.
12 News contacted other people who were at the event, and so far, none have declined to comment. After much speculation, it's official. Boston Store is back, just not the way we're used to. The new Boston Store will live primarily online. CSC Generation bought the rights to all Bonton stores. The new stores will offer name brands you'd see at the old store, plus things like televisions and high-end fashion. Another major difference, a lease-to-own option.
Especially the bigger ticket items, people are able to pay over time. There's much more flexible payment options, and actually, if you compare it to other competitors such as Rent-A-Center or Aaron's, we come at about half the price.
Also, 2 new brick and mortar stores will open in our area, one in Milwaukee and one in Brookfield. The new owner also said that they plan to hire back former employees. Okay. Now, a big night for the Brew Crew and outfielder Christian Yelich. Yelich's last night in their game against the Reds. Yelich is the first player to hit 2 cycles against the same team in one season. Yelich hit a single in the first, a double in the third, a home run in the 5th, and then a triple in the 6th inning to complete the cycle, making history. We'll have more with Yelich's big night and the Brewers win coming up in sports. Coming up, the president's pick for the Supreme Court could be in jeopardy. Hear the president's reaction when asked about the assault allegation against Brett Kavanaugh. Plus, new details after those fatal gas line explosions near Boston last week. We're learning more about what went wrong.
All right, well, first, Arielle, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Oh, yes. Well, I'm a New York native. I've been there for about, well, okay, I'm a New Jersey native, but I have been in New York. Close enough. I've been there for about 5 years. Prior to becoming a journalist, I was a psych major, and then I found myself into the world of journalism.
Fell into it.
Fell into it. You know, I think I just interviewed a bunch of people all the time and figured, you know what, I want to help them, but help them tell their stories instead of help cure whatever mental illnesses they might be going through.
What's your best day in a newsroom?
Best day in the newsroom, I'd say when a story that seemed not as interesting becomes the biggest story of the day. And I'm the one that has to make it that way. And sometimes, you know, there could be a story that's kind of small, but then you kind of work your way around it, or you shoot it a certain way, or you tell a certain way, and then you know what? It becomes amazing.
Okay, when you look back so far on your career, what are you proudest of?
Ooh, I think I'm proudest of some of the long-form journalism I have done, traveling abroad to places like Cambodia, England, Hawaii.
Wow.
Yeah, it was fantastic, and I think it helped me grow the most.
What's your favorite thing about New York and New Jersey?
New York, New Jersey. You know what? This is gonna sound funny, but the people.
Okay. No, I don't think that sounds funny at all.
You know, yeah, you know, they're a little blunt, but I like blunt. I like in your face. Whether they like you or not, you're gonna know. And that's my favorite part about that.
I was thinking it might be food.
Food's good too. I mean, the pizza's great. I don't know how pizza is in Milwaukee. I mean,
you can find whatever, New York style, Chicago style, you can find whatever you want. That's not going to be, food is wonderful in this town. Well, have you ever been here before?
No, first time.
What was your first impression?
First impression, clean.
Oh,
very clean.
Okay.
Beautiful, clean, big. Lots to do.
Yes.
You know, this place is very underrated. I'm shocked by how underrated it is.
You know, there was a wonderful Vogue magazine article in the last 6 or 8 weeks that talked about Milwaukee being so unsung and one of the places you really do have to visit. And, you know, we all certainly love it here.
That's
now, getting back to your career, where do you see yourself in maybe 5 years and then again 10? This business is changing fast.
It really is. You know, what's interesting is that it's going digital, which is very interesting. So I see myself, I think, you know, being a reporter, hopefully touching on a bunch of topics, doing local news topics, but traveling and kind of having a big digital footprint, ideally. I think I'd want to grow in digital space as well as the local news space.
So you're enjoying social media?
I'm enjoying social. I'm very curious with how it's going to go. It's gotten so much bigger than it was before. People are really inventing their careers on social media, which I find fascinating.
They certainly are. They certainly are. What is your favorite thing to do in your off time?
Oh, my off time? Ooh, I love movies. I'm a movie buff.
Like so is Dwayne.
Oh my goodness. Okay, so you know.
Just went to the Toronto Film Festival.
Oh, that's amazing. Oh, that's fantastic. See, okay, when today, when the Miss Marvel premiere, or you know, the trailer dropped.
Sure.
I was all over. I was like, oh man, I gotta go home and watch this, and I can't wait. I'm gonna put it on my calendar for when it comes out. Love Marvel.
So you'll watch all the trailers and everything and get those the minute they come out to tear them apart.
Oh yes, and then post them and then discuss. I love to go in through all the trailers and see
all movie genres.
All movie genres. Action, I fall asleep, which is surprising. I'm like, why is everybody running around? I don't care. It's fine. I'd rather, you know, I like the drama. I like the Oscar picks, the ones that help you think afterwards.
And sometimes the ones that almost confuse you at times.
Yes, absolutely. Oh yeah, that's like Inception. You can watch that a million times and you never know what's going on.
Isn't it the truth?
It's the truth. It's every single time. What's your favorite movie?
It depends on what I'm watching at the time. Right now, I cannot wait for Ryan Reynolds to come out with A Star Is Born and Lady Gaga.
That looks so good. That looks so good.
I'll be calling in sick that day, boss.
Oh my goodness.
Just so you know, because I really, really want to see that movie. So what do you think about the business? How do you think, you know, it's changed so much since I have been in. What do you where do you see it going? And we talked about digital and we talked about social. Do people still need local news?
I think they do. I think there's a type of reporting that is very unique to local news that you cannot find anywhere. It should always be around. I just think that the viewership will change. I think that the majority of viewers now who watch watch local news are middle-aged or older, and you know that's how that is. It's the hook is how are you going to get the young people in?
Right.
How are you going to get the young people to turn on and not just look at their phones?
Yeah, that's right.
That's a big thing.
Well, getting a little wind up, my dear.
Oh yes.
Good luck to you. You have a very bright future. So
Thank
that's Arielle.
Oh, thank you.